All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we are diving
deep
into the world of secret agents.
Oh,
Yeah, we're talking about Evy Poumpouras,
Evy Poumpouras.
former Secret Service agent,
Right.
turned human behavior expert, and we are pulling all of this from her appearance on the Diary of a CEO YouTube channel.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah, Stephen Bartlett asks some really insightful questions.
He does.
And Evy's background is so fascinating. I mean,
Protecting presidents one day,
yeah,
interrogating high-profile figures the next.
what a life.
Talk about a crash course in,
Human nature.
human nature. Yeah, exactly.
Seeing it all.
So much good stuff in this interview.
Yeah.
So much good stuff.
Tons to unpack.
Tons to unpack. But as always, we're going to find those practical takeaways.
Yeah.
The things that we can actually use
The stuff that matters.
in our everyday life.
Exactly.
So one of the things that really stood out to me was Evy's emphasis on
Yes.
self-control.
Yes.
I mean, she has this saying.
Easily offended. Easily manipulated.
Ooh.
It's kind of a gut punch.
It is. It is a gut punch,
that.
but I think it's so true.
Yeah.
Because she's really getting at the link between how reactive we are emotionally
Yeah.
and how vulnerable we are to being manipulated.
Right.
When we're letting our emotions just completely run the show, we become predictable.
Totally.
Become easy to read.
Yeah.
And ultimately easier to control.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
But how do we break that cycle? Because we've all been there.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Like,
Snapping at somebody when we're stressed.
right.
Making a decision we totally regret later.
Impulsively.
Impulsively. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
it feels like sometimes our emotions have a mind of their own.
Totally. They hijack us.
Yeah.
They really do. So Evy has an interesting take on it. She's like,
what's the solution here?
shut up. Shut up.
Just shut up.
Now, before you think, she's like, being a jerk.
Ding blunt. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a real strategy there
Huh.
because silence is one of the most powerful tools that we have, especially in those moments when things are heated.
So you're saying the secret weapon
You just say nothing.
is to say nothing?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, that seems so
Counterintuitive.
counterintuitive.
Right.
Yeah.
But think about it.
Okay.
When we're silent,
Yeah.
we're not adding fuel to the fire, right?
Right.
We're creating that space to actually process
Okay.
what's happening
Yeah.
without all the noise of our emotional reaction.
Oh, so we can actually think clearly instead of just reacting.
Exactly. It prevents us from blurting things out
Oh, yeah.
that we'll regret later.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the other thing it does is it forces the other person to fill that silence. And they often reveal way more than they intended to.
That's true.
Right.
It's like that awkward silence just gets people talking.
They can't handle it.
They can't handle
They
it.
got to fill it.
Yeah.
And so they just start talking.
It's like poker.
Yes.
Sometimes the best move is
Hold your cards close.
hold your cards close.
Let the other player make the first mistake.
Exactly. I like that analogy.
Yeah.
And there's another benefit to silence.
What's
It
that?
allows us to tune into our
Intuition.
intuition, that gut feeling.
That gut feeling. Yeah, and Evy's a big believer in that.
Oh, huge.
Trusting your gut.
Yeah.
That inner voice.
Yeah.
That often whispers the right answer even when we can't logically explain it.
Right.
This is where I get a little skeptical.
Okay.
Because how do we know if it's really intuition or if it's just,
Indigestion.
indigestion or,
A bad burrito.
a bad burrito.
Old gas night.
How do we cultivate that gut instinct
Okay.
so we can actually rely on it?
That is the question.
Yeah.
And Evy actually gives some pretty good advice on this.
She says start by making small decisions
Okay.
without overthinking them
Yeah.
or seeking outside opinions.
Okay.
What to wear, what to eat,
Okay.
which route to take to work. Go with your gut,
Okay.
even if it doesn't seem logical.
All right.
The more you do this,
Yeah.
the more you'll start to recognize
Okay.
the subtle cues that your intuition is sending you.
So it's like building a muscle.
It is.
The more we use it,
The stronger it gets, the stronger it gets.
Exactly.
Right.
And the other thing is pay attention to those initial vibes
Okay.
you get about people.
Vibes, like first impressions.
First impressions, that instant feeling of trust or distrust,
Yeah.
comfort or unease. Don't dismiss that.
Don't ignore it.
Often our intuition picks up on cues that our conscious mind misses.
Interesting.
Right.
Okay.
So
we got to pay attention.
I'm starting to see how this all ties together.
Yeah.
Self-control, creating space for silence. Silence allowing intuition to emerge. Intuition helping us navigate those tricky social situations that we all face.
Yes.
Speaking of tricky situations,
Okay, here we go.
let's talk about Evy's animal wheel.
The animal wheel.
I loved this framework.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
It's basically a way to categorize different communication styles.
Right, different personalities, different approaches to interacting with the world.
Yeah, and it's based on her years of experience.
Right.
Observing people under pressure.
Totally.
From dignitaries to criminals.
Yeah, she's seen it all.
She's seen it all. And so she breaks it down into 4 main types.
Okay.
Lion.
Lions.
Mouse monkey.
Monkey.
And T-Rex.
T-Rex.
Each with its
Strengths.
weaknesses. And, dare I say, entertainment value.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's unpack these animals a little bit.
Okay.
First up, the lion.
The lion.
Picture that classic alpha personality.
Yeah.
Commanding. Assertive. Maybe even a little intimidating.
Yeah.
Evy actually talked about her experience working in an all-male police unit.
Oh, wow.
Early in her career.
Yeah.
I bet there were a few lions.
Roaring around that office.
You
said time.
Yeah. But it's important to remember, not all lions are created equal.
Right.
The healthy lion is a natural leader.
Yes.
Decisive, action-oriented.
Get things done. Yes.
But the unhealthy lion
Right.
can be overbearing. Domineering and even
Manipulative.
Manipulative.
Trying to use that force.
Yeah, force their will on others.
Get their way.
Yeah.
For their own benefit.
Next, we've got the mouse.
The mouse.
And I think a lot of us can relate to this one.
Yeah.
A little more reserved.
Right.
Conflict avoidant. Always seeking harmony.
Pleasing people.
Yeah.
Making sure everyone's okay.
Yeah, wanting to keep the peace.
Yeah.
But even the mouse
Has a shadow side.
has a shadow side taken to an extreme.
Yes.
The mouse can become a people pleaser.
A doormat.
Yeah.
Suppressing their own needs.
Right.
Their own opinions.
Just to avoid rocking the boat.
They don't want to cause any trouble.
And that makes them vulnerable.
Very vulnerable.
Their lies.
Especially by those
Yeah.
more dominant types.
Especially by those lions.
Especially by those lions, exactly.
Okay, so we got the assertive lion
Right.
and the more passive mouse.
Yeah.
Let's bring in the monkey.
Oh, the monkey.
Okay. Evy paints them as
The social chameleon.
the ultimate social chameleon.
Yeah.
Charming,
The
adaptable.
life of the party.
Always the life of the party.
Monkeys are fun.
Yeah, they're fun to be around.
Until they're not.
Until they're not.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so they're masters of connection
Yeah.
and communication.
Yeah.
They build rapport easily and can be incredibly persuasive.
Ooh, persuasive.
However,
Ooh.
it's important to be discerning
Oh.
with a monkey.
Okay.
Because their motives
Yeah.
aren't always clear.
Ooh, that's a little scary.
It can be.
Yeah.
Are they genuinely interested in you?
Yeah.
Or are they just playing a role
Yeah.
to get what they want?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
So it's all fun and games.
Until you realize the monkey might be
Picking your pockets.
taking your pocket.
Though you're distracted
Exactly.
by their charm.
Yes.
Okay.
Be careful of the monkey.
Eh.
I'll keep an eye out.
Last but not least,
Yeah.
we have the T-Rex.
A T-Rex. No nonsense.
No nonsense.
Not afraid to
Speak their mind.
speak their mind. This one's definitely Evy's spirit animal.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
100%.
And she gives a great example
Oh, yeah.
of how to use that T-Rex energy
Okay.
effectively.
Yeah.
She tells a story about confronting a colleague
Uh-oh.
who was disrespecting her.
Behind her back. Behind her back.
Classic.
Instead of letting it slide or gossiping about it,
She went
she went straight to the source
head on. Head on. Yeah.
and addressed it.
How'd that go?
And guess what?
What?
It worked.
It worked.
Yeah.
That's the power.
That's the power of the T-Rex.
They set clear boundaries.
Yes.
They don't tolerate disrespect.
And they let you know.
They let you know.
They let you know.
Yeah, but of course,
It's important to
to wield this power
wield this power responsibly.
responsibly, yes.
Right. It's not about
Being aggressive
being aggressive.
or bullying others.
Right. It's about
Assertively communicating.
assertively communicating your needs.
The expectations.
All right. So we've got these 4 animal types.
The animal wheel.
But here's the question.
Right.
How do we actually use this information
Right.
in our own lives?
It's not like we can just walk around like labeling everyone.
Yeah, giving everybody an animal.
Like, oh, you're a lion, you're a mouse.
Yeah.
Like, and then changing our behavior to match.
Yeah, that feels a little manipulative.
Manipulative.
Right.
Doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
And Evie's clear about this.
Okay.
She's like, this isn't about being fake or manipulative.
Okay.
It's about understanding the different communication styles and adapting your approach to connect more effectively.
So it's less about changing who we are.
Yes.
And more about
understanding
who we're dealing with.
Who you're dealing with. Yeah. Okay.
I like that.
So, for example, let's say you have to present an idea to a lion. Taping a timid, mouse-like approach is unlikely to be effective.
You're going to get eaten alive.
You're going to get eaten alive, right?
Yeah.
So you need to...
So you need to step into your power.
Yeah.
Be confident.
Be prepared.
Be prepared.
To back up your points.
Yes.
Okay.
So knowing your audience is key.
It is.
How do we avoid those communication clashes?
Right. What happens when...
What happens when a lion meets a lion head on?
That's where the real skill comes in.
Okay.
You know, it's about recognizing the energy in the room.
Okay.
And adjusting accordingly.
Okay.
So if you're dealing with a very dominant lion, you know, it might be wise to strategically adopt a more receptive mouse-like approach.
Interesting.
Right. By actively listening, asking thoughtful questions, acknowledging their perspective.
Okay.
You might actually disarm them.
So it's about being
flexible
and adaptable. Using different communication styles strategically, depending on the situation.
Exactly.
This is fascinating stuff.
It is.
And we're just getting started.
I know, right?
I'm really curious to hear Evy's take on dealing with disrespect.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Because I think that's something we all encounter at some point.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
But we'll save that
for part two.
Of
our deep dive.
So stay tuned.
Can't wait.
I know it's going to be good.
Yeah, this is juicy.
It's going to be good.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Okay. All right, we'll see you soon.
See you.
Welcome back, everybody. We are picking up right where we left off.
Back to Evie.
With Evy Poumpouras.
Yes.
And her insights on
human behavior.
And
the crazy things she learned in the Secret Service.
I'm still buzzing from those communication styles.
Oh, yeah, the animal wheel. So good.
It's so good. But now we're shifting gears to something even more powerful.
Ooh, even more powerful. Okay.
Her perspective on dealing with disrespect.
Okay.
And building resilience. And let me tell you, she does not hold back.
I was going to say, she doesn't mince words, does she?
No, she does not. She delivers this knockout punch of a message.
Okay, I'm ready. She says, stop acting like prey.
Whoa.
It's a strong statement.
It is.
But it gets right to the heart of the matter.
It does.
Okay, I have to admit, that line made me sit up and pay attention.
Yeah.
What exactly does she mean by acting like prey?
She's talking about that victim mentality.
Okay.
Which, you know, we can all understand.
Yeah.
You know, when you're going through a tough time, you can fall into that.
Right.
But it can become a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Oh, how so?
Because it keeps us stuck.
Okay.
In this cycle of blame and resentment and powerlessness.
It's like we're giving away our power.
Exactly. We're giving our power away to this situation.
Yeah.
To the other person.
Yeah. And it's so easy to fall into that trap.
Oh, yeah.
Of feeling like life is happening to us.
Instead of for us.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
So she's saying you got to flip that script.
How do we flip the script?
How do we not be a victim?
Because it's easy to say.
Right.
But actually shifting that mindset.
That's the hard part.
Feels like a whole other challenge.
It is. And she has some really good thoughts on this.
Okay. I'm ready.
It requires a conscious effort.
Okay.
To reframe our experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And one way she suggests starting with this is to acknowledge the universality of suffering.
The universality of suffering.
Yeah, everybody suffers.
Yeah.
Everybody's going through something.
Okay.
And she has this very pointed way of putting it.
Okay.
She's like, you're not that special.
Oof. I can see how that might rub some people the wrong way.
Right. Sounds harsh.
Yeah.
But when you really understand what she's getting at, it's not about diminishing anybody's pain.
Right.
It's about recognizing that every single person on this planet faces challenges and setbacks.
Heartbreak.
Moments of despair.
Yeah.
It's just part of the human experience.
It's like that saying, everyone you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about.
Exactly.
It's easy to get caught up in our own bubble and forget that everyone else is going through their own stuff.
Absolutely.
So we're not alone in this.
We are not alone.
And when we recognize that,
yes,
it can be empowering instead of feeling sorry for us. Exactly. We realize, okay, we're all in this together.
We're all in this together.
And we can support each other.
We can support each other.
Oh,
I like that.
It's a more empowering.
It is. Yeah. So she actually uses her own experience as a first responder on 9/11.
Oh, wow.
To illustrate this point.
Intense.
Talk about a situation where it would be so easy to feel like a victim.
Absolutely.
But she emphasizes that even in the face of unimaginable tragedy.
Right.
What helped her cope was that understanding.
That shared experience.
That she wasn't alone.
Yes.
In her grief and trauma.
Powerful.
It's so powerful.
So powerful.
So it's about connecting with that. Shared human experience.
Both the good and the bad.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Right. We're all in it together.
We are.
And when we let go of that special snowflake mentality,
yes,
we open ourselves up to resilience. We become more capable of bouncing back
from those setbacks.
Because we realize that hardship is an inevitable part of the human experience.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
We can't avoid it.
So we might as well learn how to deal with it.
Exactly.
Okay. This is making me think about her animal wheel again.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's not just about different communication styles.
Okay.
But also about different ways.
I like this.
Of responding to challenges.
I love that connection.
Yeah. So you could say that the lion might be more prone to seeing those obstacles as challenges.
Challenges to be conquered.
Yeah.
Right.
The mouse might initially withdraw or seek support.
Right. They want to kind of hunker down.
And wait it out.
Yeah, get some help.
Get some help.
The monkey might try to
charm their way out of
the situation.
Right.
And the T-Rex might just charge right through it. Yeah, like full force ahead.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's like different coping mechanisms almost.
Yes, exactly. Different ways of approaching those challenges.
Okay, so we've talked about reframing our experiences.
Right.
Recognizing that we're not alone in our struggles.
Yes.
What's the next step in cultivating this resilience?
Ooh, good question.
That she talks about.
Okay, so Evy advocates for this really powerful shift in perspective.
Okay.
Moving from a me focus to a we focus.
A me focus to a we focus.
Yeah.
This is where things get really interesting.
I know, right?
I'm intrigued.
This is good stuff.
What does she mean by a we focus?
She's challenging that prevailing cultural narrative.
Okay.
That's so obsessed with.
Yeah.
Self-improvement.
Okay.
Promotion.
Individual achievement.
Yes.
Okay.
It's all about me, me, me.
Yeah, it's like the selfie generation.
Yes, exactly. All about me.
The Instagram highlight reel.
Yeah.
And she's saying that is not where true fulfillment comes from.
Where does it come from?
True fulfillment comes from expanding our circle of concern.
To include others.
To include others. So it's not just about me. It's about we.
Yes.
It's like shifting from a mindset of scarcity to a mindset of abundance.
Yes.
Instead of constantly competing and comparing ourselves.
We start to see
the value.
You elaborate.
In collaboration and connection.
And connection, yes.
I like that.
It's about recognizing that our well-being is interconnected.
We're all connected.
We're all connected.
So when we focus on contributing to something larger than ourselves, whether it's our family,
our community,
our work,
even just like making someone's day a little brighter.
Yeah, just those little acts of kindness. We create a ripple effect.
A ripple effect.
As positivity.
Of positivity. I love that image.
Yeah.
It's so true.
It is.
And it doesn't require, grand gestures.
Yeah.
Or like
I don't have to go volunteer.
You don't have to
at a soup kitchen every day.
Quit your job and join the Peace Corps.
Yeah.
It's really about
the little things.
The small everyday acts of kindness, generosity, and service.
So things like helping a colleague who's overwhelmed.
Yes.
Offering a listening ear.
To a friend.
Who's going through a tough time.
Yeah.
Or just holding the door open.
Holding the door.
For a stranger. It's about shifting our attention outward.
Yes.
Looking for opportunities to be helpful.
Yes.
And supportive.
Without expecting anything in return.
Yeah.
That's the key.
That is the key, because I think a lot of times
we do things
because
we want something back.
We want something in return.
Right. We want to be liked.
Yeah.
We want to be praised.
We want to look good.
We want to look good.
Yeah.
And Evie calls us out on that.
Does she really?
She does.
What does she say?
She says, who are you making that about?
She's
calling us out.
On that need.
On that need.
For external validation.
External validation, yes.
So maybe instead of trying to make people like us,
right,
the key is to focus on
being someone.
Who
genuinely
likes and cares about.
And cares about other people.
Other people.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because then it's not about me trying to get something.
Exactly. It's about me giving of myself.
That's not yourself.
Okay, so we've talked about...
Okay, let's recap.
Self-control.
Is it?
The power of silence.
Silence.
Trusting our intuition. Understanding different communication styles.
The animal wheel.
Reframing our experiences.
Letting
go of the victim mentality.
Acting like prey.
And shifting from a me focus to a we focus.
To a way focus.
My brain is officially full.
I know, right?
There's so much good stuff in here.
She packs a lot in.
But there's one more concept.
Okay.
I think it's worth highlighting.
Okay, hit me.
Before we wrap up.
Okay.
This part of our deep dive.
Okay.
She touches on this idea of cultivating a neutrality mindset.
Ooh, neutrality mindset.
I like that. And she credits this to Dr. Gabrielle Leon, who's married to a Navy SEAL.
Oh, wow.
So we're talking
high
stakes world here.
Yeah.
What's this neutrality mindset all about?
So it's about not getting too caught up.
Okay.
In the highs and lows of life.
Okay.
The emotional roller coaster.
Our emotional roller coaster.
It can just drain our energy and cloud our judgment.
Yeah.
So it's about staying grounded.
Okay.
And even keeled. Even keeled.
Regardless of what's happening around us.
I can see how that would be valuable in those high-pressure situations.
I think about a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
They can't be freaking out.
Right.
When they're,
when they're in the middle of a mission.
In the middle of a mission.
Yeah.
I gotta stay
calm.
Calm, cool, and collected.
But is that realistic?
Good question.
For the average person.
Right, because
I get excited about things. I get disappointed by things.
Of course, we're human.
That's part of being human.
It's not about suppressing our emotions or becoming robots.
Right.
It's about recognizing that our emotional reactions don't always reflect the reality of the situation.
So it's about choosing how we respond to those emotions.
Rather than letting them
control us.
Control us, yes. Right. And she gives a great example.
Okay, I'm ready.
Of how she applied this mindset. When her first book came out, she didn't get overly attached to the outcome.
Okay.
Whether it was going to be a bestseller or if it flopped.
Okay.
She focused on the process.
On doing the work.
Yeah. And then letting go of the results.
It's like that Buddhist idea of detachment.
It is
not getting too attached.
Not getting too attached to outcomes.
Because ultimately...
You can't control everything.
You can't control everything.
And this concept of neutrality is so valuable when dealing with disrespect.
Okay.
Because it allows us to choose how we respond to those situations.
Yeah.
We don't have to let someone else's negativity dictate our emotional state.
Don't let someone rent space in your head for free.
I love that.
Right?
That's so good.
It's so true.
It's so good.
And it brings us full circle to her message of stop acting like prey.
Stop acting like prey.
When we cultivate that neutrality mindset, we become less reactive. Less easily offended.
Yes. And more empowered. To choose our response. Yes.
This is some seriously powerful stuff.
I know, it's good stuff.
We've covered so much ground in this deep dive.
I know.
I feel like I'm just starting to scratch the surface.
I know, me too.
Of Evy's insights.
Yeah, so much there.
And we haven't even touched on the topic of legacy.
Ooh, that's a big one.
That's where she really challenges us.
I know.
To think about the kind of impact we want to have on the world.
The big picture stuff.
Okay, I'm hooked.
Okay.
I'll have to save that conversation.
For part 3.
All right. Of our Evy Poumpouras deep dive. So stay tuned.
I'm excited.
I am too. This is so good.
Okay.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. We are wrapping up our deep dive
into the world of Evy Poumpouras. Former Secret Service agent turned human behavior expert.
Yeah.
It's been quite a ride.
It has been a ride.
So much good stuff.
We've talked about self-control, communication styles,
resilience,
and now we're tackling legacy.
The big one.
The big one feels like the perfect way to wrap up
It does.
This conversation.
Yeah, it's this theme that runs through all of her work.
Yeah.
Like she's constantly challenging us
Right.
to think beyond just our own immediate needs and desires and really consider the impact we want to have on the world.
It's like she's saying, all right,
Yeah.
you've learned all these tools.
You got the skills.
Yeah.
You got the strategies.
Those tactics.
Yeah, for navigating life.
Now, what are you going to do with it?
Yeah, what are you going to do with it?
Put it to good use.
Yeah. And she doesn't sugarcoat it.
She does not.
On the Diary of a CEO, Stephen Bartlett asks her this very pointed question.
Oh, yeah.
He says, on your deathbed, what do you want your legacy to be?
That's a heavy one.
I know, right?
Makes you think.
It does make you think.
About what really matters.
Yeah, at the end of the day.
And I gotta admit, that question makes me a little uncomfortable.
Really, why?
Because it's like, I'm not trying to cure cancer or solve world hunger.
We're not out there saving the world.
Does my legacy really matter that much?
It's easy to feel insignificant.
Yeah.
You know, in the grand scheme of things. Like, who am I?
Yeah, who am I?
To think that I'm going to leave a legacy.
But Evy's point is that legacy isn't just about grand gestures.
Right.
Or monumental achievements.
It's not about writing the great American novel.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
winning a Nobel.
Winning a Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
It's really about the impact of our everyday choices.
So it's more about how we live our lives.
Yes. Day in and day out.
Than about any one specific accomplishment.
Think about it this way.
Okay.
Every interaction we have, every decision we make creates this ripple effect.
Ooh, I like that. Ripple effect.
And those ripples might seem small.
Yeah.
But they can have a profound impact on the people around us.
And on the world.
On the world.
As a whole.
As a whole.
Yeah.
So it's not just about us.
Yeah.
It's about how we touch the lives of others.
It's like that butterfly effect.
Yes.
Even the smallest action
can have far-reaching consequences.
Wow.
Right?
That's powerful.
So think about your interactions today.
Yeah.
Who are you going to impact?
Who am I going to impact?
And how
are your actions
going to ripple out?
Going to ripple out
into the world.
I like that.
Yeah.
And that brings us back to Evy's emphasis.
Yeah.
On shifting from a me focus to a we focus.
Yes.
When we start thinking about our legacy in those terms.
It becomes less about
personal gain.
Or more about
giving.
Giving and contributing to something.
Bigger than ourselves.
Bigger than ourselves, yes.
This reminds me of something she talked about earlier.
What's that?
That idea of fostering a sense of agency.
Oh, yeah.
In others.
I love that story.
Yeah, and she uses the example of her daughter.
Trying to climb onto the bed?
Yeah, trying to climb onto the bed.
And instead of rushing to help her, she lets her struggle.
Yeah, she lets her struggle.
A little bit.
Get frustrated.
Even get frustrated.
Yeah.
Before offering assistance.
Yeah.
And it's like...
What a great lesson.
Such a good lesson.
Because...
by allowing others
to experience those challenges.
Yeah.
And overcome them on their own. Yeah. We're helping them build resilience and confidence.
It's like that saying,
yeah.
Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day.
Teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
And that's such a beautiful example.
It is.
Of how our actions can create
a lasting legacy.
A lasting legacy even in the smallest moments.
Yes. It's not about...
Yeah, it's not about...
the big things.
The big things.
It's about those small moments. The little things we do... every single day.
That make a difference.
That make a difference.
In the lives of others.
This conversation is really making me rethink my own priorities.
It is powerful, right?
It is.
It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day.
The daily grind.
And lose sight of what really matters.
But her insights offer such a powerful reminder.
They do.
That we have a choice.
Yes.
In how we approach life.
Every single day.
We can choose to be reactive.
Self-centered.
Focused on our own needs.
Or we can choose to be.
Proactive,
generous.
And focused on creating a positive impact.
What a great way to put it.
It's like she's giving us this roadmap for living a more meaningful life.
Yes.
A more fulfilling life.
For ourselves and for the world around us.
This has been such an incredible deep dive.
It has.
I feel like I've gained so much
Me too.
From her insights.
I hope our listeners feel the same way.
Me too.
We've covered so much ground.
I know, from self-control and intuition.
To communication styles, resilience, and legacy.
If you're listening,
We'd love to hear.
We'd love to hear your biggest takeaway.
What resonated with you?
What resonated with you most?
How are you going to apply?
How are you going to apply Evy's wisdom
to your own life?
And remember her powerful question, what do you want your legacy to be?
Let that question guide you.
Let it guide you.
As you move through the world.
And if you want to explore her work further,
yes,
be sure to check out the show notes.
We'll have links to her BBC Maestro course.
Yeah.
And her books.
All the good stuff.
Until next time.
Stay curious.
Stay engaged.
And as Evy would say,
stop acting like prey.
We'll see you
on our next
deep dive.